What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host, Josh, and today we are coming at you with a segment we do after each and every Borussia Dortmund game where we take 5 takeaways from the match we just watched, and we're going to take it from the nice little 2-1 victory we picked over Augsburg. So if you guys are excited for the 5 takeaways, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are new. We're getting very close to 6,000 subscribers, and let's get into the video now. Alright guys, so after watching that scrappy little 2-1 victory for Borussia Dortmund over Augsburg, which now puts us second in the Bundesliga standings right now, 1 point behind Bayern, but of course they haven't played, as well as Leverkusen, but at the very least we should be able to at least finish the week with a 3rd place, depending on how Leverkusen does, which is pretty good because of the fallen and drop points by Wolfsburg. But taking a look at the game that we just saw, we're going to get right into the takeaways. So my very first takeaway is going to be the shape. And I want to talk about this because it's something that is very important for me and for, I think, Marco Rose. The shape is something that's so important to his team. It holds together their identity, and we saw it last year under Terzic when we found that Christmas tree, that beautiful little Christmas tree formation, and you saw the team coming together. They're gelling together. After watching the 2-striker system, the compact 4-1-2-1-2, it didn't work. And then we even saw the back 3, which looked awful as well. And I get that if you would put a little bit more time and effort into trying to make it work, you could. We don't have that time. We've already lost 2 matches. If we drop any more points before Bayern does, we're gonna be looking way back in the rearview mirror as Bayern take way off. And it's unfortunate, but it is the way it is. You need to find a system that works. He's going with that mixture of a 4-3-3 when it calls for it, or the 4-2-3-1. And I thought the 4-2-3-1, despite a scrappy affair, has been a good formation for us going forward, and it is my preferred formation. And to see players starting to gel and come together, it's really good to see. And I would hope to see one of those 2 formations, because like I said, they're very similar depending on how you want to play it, but that is a system I want to see. The width, the chemistry, it's starting to build up, and we're starting to get results in this and not having those stagnant performances. Moving on over to my second takeaway, guys, we're going to go over to Guerrero, and I thought Guerrero had a very good game in the back. He was attacking, he was getting in like he always usually does. He had a very composed penalty, which I really liked, and I want to talk about because we know how penalties have bitten us in the butt before. Last year, we saw Sancho miss a penalty, we saw Royce miss penalties, we saw Haaland miss penalties, and it speaks to where Royce's penalty head is at. He's our captain. He's our skipper. He's the guy who's on the pitch who you would expect when Haaland's not out there to be the penalty guy. And Guerrero comes out of left field and puts in the most nonchalant, cheeky penalty I've seen in a while in a black and yellow shirt, and I loved it. So right now, I mean, arguably, I'd even maybe put him ahead of Haaland because Haaland to me is someone who can take a nice penalty, but can lack concentration every once in a while, and you've seen it with missed penalties. But it is nice to know that if Haaland does end up missing a penalty this year, we have someone to go in the back and put the ball in the back in there for the penalty spot. On top of that, he also just showed what Guerrero did, and I thought he had a pretty decent defensive performance today. He worked very, very hard. Even when Thomas Meunier went down, we swapped on over it. He played as a right back, as being a lefty, which you don't see too much, and he had a good game. So I was really impressed with Guerrero on the defensive side of things, as well as getting that cheeky little penalty in there, and overall, really good game. Moving on to my third takeaway, a man who I'm really excited to praise, and that is Brandt. Brandt had an excellent game. We played, like I said, in the 4-2-3-1. He played primarily as a left attacking mid and a right attacking mid, swapping with whoever else was on the other wing. And you saw the goal he took and the intricate passing he was able to do. There was a few plays where we know the wing play for him isn't his strength. He doesn't have that rapid speed that makes for a traditional winger, but he is a creative player, and he did that today. He linked up with Royce, in my eyes, very, very well. He had quick little 1-2s. He created space for himself. And the goal he scored, cutting in from the side, he wasn't on a strong foot, but the touch he took to set himself up perfectly and then drill it with the left into the bottom corner was spectacular. And I thought he was involved the entire game. I really liked his performance from the wing, which is something that terrified me every single time Brandt came on the pitch when he played outside. And today, the link-up play, and I think playing Royce through the middle allowed Brandt to maybe adapt his wing play a little bit more and make him so influential. And he was probably my man of the match day. I really liked watching Brandt, and it's something that now Mark Rose can look at and be like, okay, I can put Brandt in this position and know that he will be useful. And guess what? He got the game-winning goal and some really high praise from JJD TV. Going on over now to my fourth takeaway, we're going to take a look at Donyell Malen playing as the lone striker today in the 4-2-3-1. I thought he had a pretty good game, and talking with you guys in the chat, you thought a little bit of the same. It's hard when it's a tough game like this and you're playing as that lone striker. If you don't get the service, you don't get seen. But still in a short period of time when he played, because he did get yanked off, but he was able to draw the penalty, and that's just coming from pace, getting in there, making it uncomfortable for the defender, and lead to a penalty. He also had an opportunity to potentially draw out a red card from Oxford. I think he got lucky. That was only a yellow. He made some good intricate runs, timed runs, which we were taking shots at Timo Werner earlier today, and seeing the runs that he was able to do, it matters. I mean, he could have easily put in a ball for a tap in for Wolf. It wasn't for good defending. Linking up well with Brandt, looking up well with Royce. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed Malen's play today. I still think he's going to be more useful playing as a left winger, left attacking mid when Haaland's through the middle, but it's nice to know, and this is the importance of Donyell Malen. I know he didn't score, but I mean, he drew the penalty. So in my eyes, it's pretty much scoring. And on top of that, when Haaland's not here, you need someone to play as a striker. And instead of playing Hazard there, playing Royce there, playing Brandt there, playing Mukuku there, who is still very young, very raw, you have someone who can do that role, and did it to pretty high praise from me and the chat today as well. So that is another big takeaway from something that we haven't been able to utilize because we haven't had an actual backup striker. Now we sort of do with Malen, and I give him that praise. And going on to my fifth and final takeaway, guys, it's going to be a mixture of finishing / seeing out the game. Now, big shout out to Marco Reus, who got his 100th assist. Huge praise to our captain, but the finishing was not there. Killing off the game was not there today. In my eyes, this game should have been like a 3-4-1. I thought there was a lot of good work. I thought the passing from Brandt and Royce was spectacular today. I thought Royce did have a really good game, but lacked finishing. He had 2 big opportunities where I think he nicked the crossbar twice. Hazard hit the post as well. The finishing just simply wasn't there. And guess what? The last play of the game was a free kick coming in from Daniel Caligiuri, which, let's be honest, man, it would have been surprising if that ended up in the back of the net. So it goes back to the fact when Haaland's not here, we weren't quite able to kill off the game. However, we were able to finish it off. We did get to 3 points, and that's all that matters. But it was a little worrying knowing when Erling Haaland isn't there that we squeaked by. But at the same time, we still scored 2 goals and got 3 points without him. But if we got to be careful, because sooner or later, something like that, and we don't take those chances from Royce and Hazard, it's going to bite us in the butt. And I just wanted to throw that out there because it was something that was driving us crazy. The luck wasn't going our way, where, in my eyes, Augsburg's goal was a very lucky one. But either way, we got the job done, regardless of some questionable finishing sometimes. And yeah, guys, those are my 5 takeaways. So let me know in the comments below if you agree with my 5 takeaways, if you have any more takeaways you want to add, if you do agree with me, and Brandt, in your eyes, was probably the man of the match, because I thought he had a really good performance. Bellingham doing what Bellingham always does. We don't need to praise him any more than we already do. He had a great game once again, got a little feisty towards the end. And those are the 5 takeaways, guys. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to drop a like on the video on your way out. Subscribe if you guys are new, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers, friends.